Two things are notable today. First off, because of the generosity and sheer awesomeness of the Patreon contributors to the Matt Talk Podcast Network, I'm talking into my brand new Shure SM7B microphone. Yes, it's the microphone you see in a lot of these podcasts, including Joe Rogan, but I've had my eye on this ever since, or I think it's ever since. Anyway, to quote my friend Cliff Fretwell from The Hustle. Anyway, the other important thing is a happy birthday to my mom, Jeanette, back in Pocosin, Virginia. When I started this Matt Talk online enterprise when I was a freshman in college, October 25th, 1997, I probably spent more time updating high school wrestling scores than I did going to class. I'm Jason Bryant, and this is Short Time Shots, to look back at the night's college wrestling scores and more. And wait, there's no probably in that last statement. In my college years, while working at a newspaper, running a website, announcing tournaments on the weekends, there were two other choices, beer and books. Let's just say I only picked one of those at the beginning. Took me far too long to understand the importance that the GPA should be higher than your BAC. I also learned scheduling classes after noon when you work till 1 a.m. is actually a good start. But we were all young and stupid once, and my mom, she put up with it, and supporting what was then a hobby, and now it's become a sustainable career. Don't think for a second I am not aware of what that means. Speaking of my tenure in college, I guess there is a third thing. It's been 5,201 days since I completed my last class, Communications Research Methods 2, at Old Dominion University. Today, I paid off the last bit of my student loans. Yes, 14 years after I finished my last class, I am no longer sitting with any student loan debt. To my credit, there was a good chunk of that 7 years that I was in college that I paid my own way. But you're not here to listen to me wax poetic about my glory days, especially since my next birthday is the big 4-0. As Gantry on the Matt Forum said earlier, today the only Division I game in town was Northern Illinois and North Dakota State. And if you're an NIU fan, you could have done what Gantry done and get out after the first 5 weights. Number 22, North Dakota State stomped Northern Illinois 35-4 as the Bison, yes, I'm saying that correctly, won 9 out of 10 matches and closed things out with falls by Cordell Eaton and Brandon Metz. There was some notable news further west in the great state of North Dakota as the University of Mary, the Marauders, had a packed house in Bismarck as they topped Minot State 31-12. You want to talk about the environment that Adam Aho is growing out there? Check Twitter and the UMary Wrestling, and you'll see it for yourself. Wild stuff. I mean, other teams at University of Mary were tweeting about this. They were all there. It was crazy. Just the video itself is like, wow, that's a Division II dual meet with schools most people haven't heard of outside of the Midwest. Yeah, even though both schools are part of the Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference, this was a non-conference matchup. Emmanuel, which is in its first year as a full member of Division II, knocked off Ouachita Baptist 25-22. 2 forfeits and a fall at 165 for enough for the Lions to get past the Tigers. Oh my. Dad jokes. A lot of interdivisional matchups on Thursday as Division II Ashland improved to 5-0 after dominating NAIA Lords 43-6. Returning Division II National Championship, Brett Romanzik got his championship ring and racked up a technical fall at 165. Going back to the Dakotas, Northern State, which is in South Dakota, top Division III Concordia Moorhead, which is in Minnesota, across the river from Fargo, and the Bison Turf, where apparently Mike Kwame was buying all the drinks tonight after the NDSU win. 23-14, I think he was at the Turf. Wins by Colton Roth and Caden Moore down the stretch helped give the Wolves the W. Fired up Rocky Burkett. Now, Colorado Mesa beat Cloud County Community College 36-12, while Colorado School of Mines, that's M-I-N-E-S, not Mimes, that'd be a pretty silent dual meet, they beat Northeastern Junior College 32-6. So that's a pair of Colorado T2s with wins over junior colleges in case you're counting at home. Earlier, we mentioned Lions and Tigers. Well, to complete the whole dad joke circle of cheesiness, West Virginia Tech, yes, the Golden Bears beat Bluefield College 31-24. That is an NAIA Appalachian Athletic Conference match. Bluefield is technically in its second year as a program, but this was the first official duel in program history. They didn't have any duels last year. Matter of fact, their numbers were really, really low as Coach Jason Welty got a late start in being hired there, and now he's got things rolling. Let's do this thing. He's a William Byrd Terrier, by the way. A little Virginia knowledge for you. Out in Kansas, Benedictine beat St. Mary 27-18. The Ravens, 3 wins by fall. You know it's coming. Nevermore. 6th-ranked Menlo beat Southern Oregon 27-15, while the Menlo women beat Southern Oregon 40-4. Also in the NJCAA, number 20 North Idaho knocked off number 22 Iowa Western 30-19. This was close until falls at 197 and 285 by Hunter Gregerson, and Connor Sullivan gave the Cardinals the win over the Reavers. Yes, Reavers. What the heck is a Reaver? Honestly, it's a river pirate. Yeah, Google. North Idaho also upended number 6 Iowa Central 20-19. Yeah, talk about burying the lead. My excuse? Result came in after I started recording this. That happens. Good thing I looked at it, or else I would have had Southern Oregon's men losing to Menlo 40-4 instead of the women. There are some things that you can't quite believe when we're talking about some of the smaller divisions, and from the NJCAA NAIA Tri-Meet today, this is interesting because what I've mentioned before here on the show is NAIA duels against junior colleges do not count on the NAIA side of things. However, the junior colleges count them, and it causes a little divisiveness between scheduling and whatnot. Well, anyway, NAIA Oklahoma Wesleyan, which like Bluefield started its program last year, but actually they didn't even get off the ground last year. The coach left right before the season started. They didn't wrestle anything. So this is their first real year of dual meet scheduling. So Oklahoma Wesleyan, get this, won 5 of the 6 contested matches against Labette on Thursday. Those 5 wins were all bonus, 4 by fall and 1 by technical fall. Well, Labette picked up a fall and the other 4 matches, which were forfeits. So if you do the math, a fall and 4 forfeits is 30 points. 4 falls and a technical fall is 29 points. Ouch. Yeah, how would you like to win 5 matches, 4 by fall and 1 by technical fall, and lose? Ouch. Anyway, Oklahoma Wesleyan will not have a problem with numbers in the future as they get that program going. A lot of talent in Oklahoma to fill those rosters. Oh, Neosho, by the way, beat both those teams. Props to Nick Nothern at Neosho. So no report as of press time, and I say press time loosely because it's 11:03 Central Time as I record this, with the Simpson, that's the one in California, and Lassen duel, which again, the duel won't count for Simpson, it will for Lassen, and Life Pacific's first ever home duel against Mount San Antonio College, which again, same NAIA junior college matchup. Anyway, that's a whole nother, that could be a whole podcast into itself. We don't want to waste all the time here on Short Time. Anyway, no result from those as the time we record this, but Life Pacific, this is their first ever home dual meet. They wrestled San Francisco State and CSU Bakersfield last week, opening up with D2 and D1 to start your program. Gonna hurt a little bit. Anyway, that's all for now, and as always, you can be like the good folks who help this network each and every month by contributing to the Matt Talk Podcast Network at matttalkonline.com/join the team. As for now, no more student loans, and one more day with my kids by myself as my wife has kind of turned the tables on me a little bit. She's out of the country on business after I was in Budapest for 12 days. Oh, man, me and a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old leads to a lot of bribery with iPads, Trolls movies, Inside Out, Despicable Me, Minions, yeah. You name it, I've thrown it at them to keep them happy and quiet. But that's all I've got for you for today. This is Short Time Shots. I'm Jason Bryant. Woohoo. Mic drop. Actually, this mic's too expensive. I'm not dropping. The Short Time Wrestling Podcast is proudly outfitted by Compound Clothing. Shirts, singlets, custom gear orders, everything you need. Call up Cliff and the crew at cmpteamwear.com. First time listening? Well, you can change that by going to matttalkonline.com/get-short-time to subscribe on Apple Podcasts or listen on your favorite podcatcher at matttalkonline.com/listen.